It's Elon from Unconventional Chess, and today we're going to be discussing a fairly new opening, one that you probably have not seen before. It's called the Anderssen opening, and interestingly, I was thinking about a couple of games I was playing way back when with this opening, and I think it's quite interesting. I haven't seen too much at the tournament level, but I thought that I'd mix it up a little bit by showcasing a game played by somebody else instead of me. And I know that the first video I discussed a challenge involving me and Primrose, and it was a very, very exciting game. But I decided now to mix things up a little bit and see what happens with other games where they play these very unusual openings and, what lessons we can learn from them. So let's start out by this game that I found here on chess.com by Neon Kirby versus Macro Herman. Now, these are obviously players online via chess.com who are active in the community, and they decide to play a little game against each other. I just happened to stumble upon it. So, let's begin. The first move is a3. And this is actually the start of the Anderssen's opening, because, well, how did it actually get the name? I think that there was a grandmaster back in the 19th century. His name was Adolf Anderssen, actually, and he has some very interesting games. Now, of course, I can upload those a little bit later if you guys are interested, where he played some very wild exotic chess. And, of course, back in the 19th century, a lot of chess players were much more willing to play very complicated lines and play very, very unusual moves compared to today, where it's more based on just orthodox opening theory. And where black goes, he replies with knight to f6. Now, I think it's kind of interesting now, because next move, and I can probably see the next several moves that are happening, is that he tries to build a fortress on the third rank. Now, what benefit that's going to bring, I have no clue, but we will have to see as the game progresses. So, b3, c5, c3, d5. Now, okay, black is obviously trying to take advantage of the center because white isn't developing its pieces. I mean, of course, if we go back here, instead of this c3, I think that would have been much better white just develop this normal, let's say, with knight f3, g3. And if, let's say, black were to do something like g6, then, of course, white can just play g3, develop the bishop on g2, followed by castling, and the position would be very equal. So then, c3, I'm not sure if I understand this move. I think it's a little crazy, because it just doesn't do anything. I mean, maybe he's just trying to play d4, but one of the most important principles in chess is to develop your minor pieces first, followed by playing all these pawn moves. Okay. So black plays d5, which is good. He's trying to play in the center. d3. And it's so funny when I'm seeing it, because it's like, what is white trying to accomplish here when trying to play all these moves? Is he just trying to think to black, yeah, you can advance your army and you can, just go and do anything you want with playing your center, because you can't advance over yours on protecting these squares. Maybe that's what's going on in white's mind. I don't know. It's very interesting. Black continues with e5. Okay. Playing for the center, e3. and then white, it's just so funny thinking about this. I've never seen this before. f3. Okay, black develops knight c6, g3, bishop f6, bishop f5, bishop g2. Oh, finally, okay. So white develops a piece, but not till the 8th move. But okay, I suppose it's not bad, because now, white is putting some pressure on the diagonal, and white knight, or, I'm sorry, the black knight is going to come up under a little bit of pressure. And at the same time, white can advance with f4, which is nice, f4, and then you can support that with something like knight e2. Okay, so black plays takes c3, knight takes, bishop takes, yeah, and I should have probably gone back here. Was black going to win a pawn? Yeah, he was going to win pawn. This probably was a mistake here. So now the pawn is hanging on d3. So, okay, he does this. Why lose the pawn for nothing? I guess just because of a positional mistake. So, develops here, bishop e7, castles. And I'm not sure if I understand this move. It's like rook f2. It's a mistake because, after all, like, the queen is under a lot of pressure from black's queen. I think that you should have developed, let's say, with bishop b2, which would have been nice because then it would have been able to put some pressure on the center with the z5 pawn. And at the same time, the knight can go, and the knight can, have some nice activity because of the fact that the bishop could have a very nice diagonal to work with. So, why does white play rook f2? I have no idea. I'm not sure if I really understand this move. And of course, feel free to leave any comment below with the analysis, as perhaps you're seeing something that I am not seeing. So, okay, let's see. Rook f2, knight h5, bishop b2. So, okay, so finally white develops his bishop. Very, very, very nice. And he decides now to go and do this central pressure, which is exactly as intended. So then, black plays f6, which is a ginormous mistake. I would even say it's a blunder, to question marks, for two reasons. Number one, the knight is trapped, actually, because white could just play g4, but also it just blocks his own bishop, and for what reason, I do not know. I think it's just because either black didn't see the move that he was playing, or something else must have happened. So, white plays knight c1. Maybe it's okay. I'm not crazy about it because, again, white should have just won the knight easily with g4, which would have been extremely strong, and black would have just lost a piece. Okay, so white plays knight c1, maybe bishop e6. I mean, white can still play a g4 here when knight h5, so that would be a really good idea for him to do. So then, what does white do? Okay, rook d2, c7, rook d7. So I assume that, I've seen some positions where what happens is, if pieces are trapped, I mean, you don't win them immediately if you can attack much bigger pieces such as the queen, or you're delivering a few checks before you take the piece. That's actually quite common to do that, not winning pieces immediately, but you can win them later. So white plays rook d7. That's really strong because rook's on the 7th rank, and then at the same time there's a lot of pressure on the king side, because of course, once white wins that knight, and the queen can, let's say, queen g4, which would then be incredibly strong for white and give white a very nice advantage. So queen c8, and again, white should have played g4, winning the knight. I don't know why he didn't do it, but okay. Rook d2. Rook to d8. And, of course, if black was actually smart, I mean, you realize that white made a really dumb move with this rook d2, and then just play something like f5 or even g6 so that the knight can retreat. So, getting back to the game, we see rook d8, knight d5, bishop f8, e4. I mean, again, it's very sloppy play by white here. I mean, because once black goes and makes a pawn move, then just white can't win a piece anymore. So knight d4, okay, bishop takes. I think that's good, actually, because the knight by black would actually be a pretty strong piece. White's not careful. So c takes d4, knight d3, d5. And again, I do not understand black's line of reasoning, because he has this knight trapped in the well, I guess it's like not trapped anymore because the black knight can just come down 4. And like actually you would probably just want to pawn at best. So that it's unfortunate that white was not able to take advantage of that. So okay, rook, not rook. Yeah, that's right. Rook c1. Okay, very nice move by white. e6. Okay. That's a blunder here because if I can show the position, I think you about 10 seconds. Why this move is a blunder here? I think that the black queen should have probably just moved, let's say, like queen d7. At least just kind of give out of the way, and at the same time give the space for the black rook on rook ac8. So if I give you 10 seconds, just look at the next move that white played. Starting now. Okay, the move that white plays is knight c7. That is a really strong move. I mean, now it's a fork, actually. Queen and the rook, and at the same time the queen moves, let's say, somewhere like f7, then, of course, the bishop is also forked as well. That is massively strong, and black's going to be in a really, really hard position if once he loses material. So what does he play here? He plays, oh my god, I'm even laughing at this one. Bishop b7. Now, I don't know what happened in the game. I just happened to have found it in an analysis thread of this opening, the Anderssen opening. If I go to the tab, actually, this is where I found it, on this page, and I just happened to like copy the game. But what I wonder about is whether black played this opening. Black played this move. If it was because of time pressure, just because of like just some, case of mistaken oversight, or even I've had this thing happen to me before where you have a slip up of a move and you don't mean to like move a certain piece somewhere just because of the way mouses work on these on chessboards. I mean, that's possible. I don't know what the circumstances are, but that is a really, really bad move by black. So he loses his queen. Knight takes e6. And black plays knight takes g3. I think that's sort of a Hail Mary type opening. It has no real purpose other than just, I guess, I kind of realizing black's admitting that he's just losing. So, okay, white plays h takes g3. I mean, of course, it would have been better if he took the rook, but yet again, I mean, white's up so much material at this point that I don't think it really would matter either way. So, okay, black plays rook d6 to get out of the way. Okay, takes. Now, what I think would be a really good move by white is just rook c7. As that attacks the bishop, and at the same time puts a lot of pressure along the 7th rank. And also of just winning this very nice pawn a7. So white does not do that. He plays g4. Okay, g6. Knight c5, bishop e4, 5, gg. Yeah, I think here the rest of it is like pretty straightforward because just black just has no attack, and at the same time his pieces are just uncoordinated. I mean, his king is wide open here along the g file, and once white can kind of go and like unblock his pieces, let's say by getting the bishop in with like bishop h3, then just black's queen is just going to be completely undefended. Black's king, sorry, will be completely undefended, and let's say rook g2, queen b3 check. That's going to be really, really nasty for black. So, okay, f takes e4. I suppose maybe they're kind of the old saying that, if you're like, let's say, down a lot of material, but then you're kind of up in time control, then maybe you just kind of go and play it out. Again, I don't know what the circumstances surrounding this game, but that could have been it. Knight takes e4, rook g6, rook c7. Okay, as expected. Bishop h3. This pin doesn't mean anything because I mean, white can just play king to h2, but even then, black's not winning any piece. And even so, I mean, white can just play something like b4, queen b, followed by queen b3 check, which just gives white a super awesome position. So, okay, rook takes h7, rook takes f3, and again, I don't know why black plays this. I mean, of course, bishop can't take it, but it's perfectly defended by the queen, so the queen can just go queen takes f3, so that's what happens. Bishop e6, right, c5, okay, that's pretty good. Because now white was just threatening queen a8. Sorry about that. Queen a8 with checkmate, actually. And does he do that here? Well, okay, he plays bishop c8, queen a8. Okay, as expected. Black just can't do anything. He's just going to be checkmate next move. Even if, let's say, we could play something like rook c6, white could just take it. So, black just, again, plays what I call a Hail Mary move with rook g7, which doesn't really do anything. And then white takes with checkmate. So if we think about the lessons learned here, it's very interesting. I like to go back to the beginning of the game with just this a3. It's kind of what I call those tiger openings. Why do I call it a tiger opening? Well, because if you look at a tiger, sometimes there's a lot of subtlety with, the tiger doesn't really do anything, all that big. I mean, maybe it's a little bit innocuous. But eventually, white will pounce. And that's exactly what happened with the center with white after black made a lot of disastrous mistakes in the middle game, where finally this opening really showed to be a very good opening. Now, one of the other themes here that's really important is just not to block your pieces. I mean, literally, if you look at this bishop b2 by white, I mean, of course, the position here is like equal. I mean, save it for this white just knight at h5 here. It's a little vulnerable. But we see here, like with f6, it makes black's position look horrible because he's just blocking his own bishop in, and then the knight is trapped. So that's really the overriding theme here, is that whenever you develop your pieces, don't put the pawns on the same color as your bishop. So if we go back, the black bishop is on a dark square. These pawns need to be on light squares so the bishop can fill the holes between the pawns. And just the other theme that is just really important is if we go back into the middle game, say, even just irrespective of this awful knight, say, with rook c1, the point is that you want the pieces, especially the major pieces, to work harmoniously. I mean, we see here that rooks and queens do really well. Let's say if the queen were, if I were to make like this move, I don't know, like queen d7, this queen here is actually okay, because of course the rook is supporting the queen. And then let's say if you were to go and have another rook here on d6, then of course we could probably see some activity. But when you have a position like this, where, okay, the rook is attacking the queen and the queen just doesn't have any support, then that becomes very hard to play. And sometimes if the rooks are like this, it can actually be seen as one where just you have an out-of-play piece, and it could even be the equivalent of being down material. And so I hope that you really enjoyed this game, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave any comments below, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I hope that you've enjoyed the lessons from this game, and you'll be able to play them in your own games. So take care, everybody.